Welcome back to the Britannia Coin Company. We're a coin dealer based in Royal Wootton Bassett in the UK. Now, the Royal Mint this week have released the first images of a new 50p coin that's coming out very soon. The coin commemorates the 50th anniversary of the Pride movement in the UK. We don't know exactly when it's going to be coming out. The Mint have advised later this summer, but given that June is Pride month and the London Pride Parade is on July 2nd, there's a good chance it's coming out very soon. The coin has been designed by Dominique Holmes, a London-based artist and LGBTQ+ activist. It features the rainbow colours of the Pride flag and then also elements of the Progress flag to the bottom, representing the transgender community and queer people of colour. The coin has been designed alongside work with Pride in London, featuring the words Pride, Protest, Visibility, Unity and Equality, the motto of Pride in London. The Royal Mint will also be making a financial contribution towards Pride in London off the back of sales of this coin. Now, this isn't the only LGBTQ+ coin on the cards for this year, as at the end of last year we heard in the Royal Proclamation that there'll be an Alan Turing 50p coin. The World War II mathematician pioneered theoretical computer science at Bletchley Park, helping to crack the Enigma code. He's become an LGBTQ+ icon and also features on the polymer £50 note currently in use. Now, the Royal Mint have confirmed in interviews that there are no plans to circulate this coin, which is a real shame really, because it's another beautiful coin that we won't find in our change and in our pockets. It's also not the first time that a commemorative 50p has been issued just for collectors' purposes only. Let's take a look at some others. It all started in 2018 with the first of a series of Snowman 50p's. This is a silver-proof version which has a mintage of 15,000 for this presentation. The coin features the beloved childhood character the Snowman flying with James above Brighton Pier. It's another example where the Royal Mint have used colour in the design, which I'm personally a huge fan of. The engraver of this coin was Natasha Ratcliffe, who also created the 2011 Paralympic wheelchair rugby and Olympic handball 50p's. The Snowman was an animated TV film based on the children's book The Snowman by Raymond Briggs. He continues to work on illustrating and writing children's book at the age of 88. This coin series has been continued each year and has almost become a Christmas tradition to get yourself the new Snowman 50p at Christmas. But being that we're in May, we are way too early to be thinking about snowmen and Christmas coins. We have another beloved childhood character now. This is the fearsome Gruffalo, which was released in 2019. The design features his terrible tusks and terrible jaws and a poisonous wart at the end of his nose. It's another coin that we got in a colorized silver-proof version, which you can see here, and was minted to a tune of 25,000 in this presentation. It also came in a beautifully decorated perspex case, fleshing out the design from the coin itself. This wasn't the last time that we saw the Gruffalo either, as later in 2019 the second coin you can see here, the brave mouse staring at the Gruffalo's terrible claws, knobbly knees and turned out toes. The Gruffalo is the work of children's author Julia Donaldson, selling over 13 million copies and was later developed into a West End and Broadway plays, in addition to an Oscar-nominated film. There were a further 25,000 of these coins minted for this presentation, but again sadly neither were circulated. In 2019 we had Peter Rabbit all by his lonesome, ending a 3-year circulating series of coins. The famed childhood character first appeared in Beatrix Potter's The Tale of Peter Rabbit in 1902, and 120 years later he's still a hugely popular character embedded into our culture, with 2 recent movies in 2018 and 2021 earning almost $500 million in worldwide theatre releases, alongside news in June of 2021 that a 3rd instalment had almost been finished writing. 2019's release was the 14th Beatrix Potter coin, and there were 30,000 minted for this presentation. The design was created by Emma Noble, the same designer behind the previous releases, using original illustrations to depict this crafty character. Peter Rabbit returned one more time in 2020 to 50p coins. This is a silver-proof version, again designed by Emma Noble, showing Peter Rabbit squeezing under a fence off on one of his adventures. This saw the final year that Peter Rabbit would feature on the 50p, and there were 14,500 minted for this presentation. This wasn't the end of Peter Rabbit and Beatrix Potter on coins though, as we had another 2 years of him on the £5 coins, and it feels like another tradition, this time at Easter when we get our new Peter Rabbit £5 coin, so we'll see if that continues in 2023. Another commemorative 50p that didn't circulate was this design. the 2019 Wallace and Gromit 50p. Picturing these chums peeping out of their window of their rocket, these creative chaps were celebrating the 30th anniversary of their first short film, A Grand Day Out, which I'm sure most of you watching will have fond memories of. The coin was the work of Nick Park, the creator of Wallace and Gromit, and the silver proof came in another bespoke perspex case, adding the rocket around the coin. The text to the top of the coin is Latin and translates as cracking cheese, the whole reason they decided to visit the moon in the first place. With their second film, The Wrong Trousers, celebrating its 30th anniversary in 2023, could we be seeing a return to these much-loved characters on our coins next year? There were 25,000 of these silver proofs produced for this presentation. Outside of childhood characters, we've also seen plenty of popular commemorative 50 pences not make it into circulation. Here we have the 2021 50p celebrating the 2020 Olympic Games, which was held in 2021. It's a bit confusing, so let's look at the coin. Originally planned to happen in 2020, the coin was designed by David Knapton, who created the 4 Paddington Bear 50p's over the 2 years previous to this design. It features symbols representing the various sports undertaken in the Olympic Games, with the Team GB logo and Olympic rings given a splash of colour. There is so much to explore and enjoy with this design, and if we look to the right hand side of the coin, you can see the date 2020. As I mentioned, the Games were to be held in 2020, and this coin was released as part of the 2020's annual coin sets prior to the individual launch that this coin would have got, one would assume to coincide with the Games themselves. But as we all know, the global pandemic delayed the Games and therefore the release of the coin. The Games went on to be held in 2021, although still branded as the 2020 Olympic Games. This is the reason if we look to the obverse of the coin, you can see the date 2021, which as we said is the year this coin was issued. There were only 5,500 of these silver proofs minted for this presentation, although there are some 2020 dated silver proofs which would have come from the annual sets, so for a completionist collector there are 2 variants to have. 2021 saw an important anniversary for the Royal Mint, with the 50th anniversary of Decimal Day. The coin was created by Dominique Evans, who also designed the Jane Austen and 2020's VE Day £2 coins, and the Diversity Built Britain 50p. The coin features an amalgamation of old pre-decimal coins formed together into the shape of a 50p, and the year of decimalisation in the centre. It's a fascinating design, and much like the 2021 Team GB coin, there's so much to explore and spot on the design. Again, this coin has 2 variants, as in the annual coin sets for 2021, the coin had the Arnold Mason second portrait of the Queen, which was the new portrait for the new decimal coinage. Not only a move away from shillings and old pence, the Royal Mint itself also moved to a new site to create the country's new coins. The site chosen was Llantrisant in South Wales, where they continue to this day to create our coins, but also as the world's leading export mint many coins for the rest of the world as well. I have a trio of coins to show you now from one of my favourite coin sets, the Innovation in Science. Our first coin commemorates John Logie Baird and was the 3rd instalment in this multi-year release, which continues to this day. The coin marks the 75th anniversary of his death, and the design by Andrew Ross and Deborah Osborne, 2 parts of the design company Osborne Ross. The coin features a television mast emitting circular radio waves with milestones in the career of this prolific Scottish inventor. With his date of birth and death at the base of the mast, he was famed for his experiments with television, showcasing the world's first live television in 1926, although inventing the phonovision, a video recording device, and 3D television, along with some bizarre items such as rust-resistant glass razor, which didn't take off as it had a tendency to shatter, but also pneumatic shoes, which would burst or deflate. Of this silver proof, there were a total of 4,000 for this presentation. Carrying on our innovations in science, next up we have Charles Babbage on this silver proof 50 pence, which marked the 150th anniversary of his death. The design by Nigel Tudman and Jas Bambra features his name in letters and numerical code. Of this silver proof, there were 3,500 minted for this presentation. Charles Babbage originated the concept of a digital programmable computer, and his machines were among the first mechanical computers, and it blows my mind to think that a man born in 1791 would be creating at the time revolutionary machine computers in the early 1800s. Although much of his work ended up being theoretical or incomplete, late due to funding and falling out with colleagues, in recent years the Science Museum has constructed 2 difference engines following his plans. Interestingly, half of his brain was preserved and is displayed at the Hunterian Museum in the Royal College of Surgeons, with the other half on display in the Science Museum in London. We finish up looking at this coin marking 100 years of insulin, with a geometric design, an interpretation of the structure of insulin, and a molecular formula. It was designed by Iris de la Torre. Insulin was first discovered by John MacLeod, Charles Best and Sir Frederick Banting in 1921, and their first successful experiment treating dogs which didn't produce insulin by the November. In 1922 they treated their first human, a 14-year-old Leonard Thompson, who was dying from type 1 diabetes. Within 24 hours of their treatment, his blood sugar levels dropped. The second treatment proved even more successful, with the use of a more purified insulin, making diabetes treatable for the first time. Although being granted patents on insulin and the method to make it, they sold them to the University of Toronto for $1 each, proclaiming that insulin belongs to the world. Both Banting and MacLeod were awarded the Nobel Prizes in 1923, the same year that insulin began to be created on a mass scale. Both recipients split their prizes with the other 2 scientists involved in their work. Well, there we go, a look at some of the other beautiful designs that sadly haven't made it into circulation. It's always a real shame when a nice coin design doesn't make it into circulation. Now let me know down in the comments which is your favourite coin that didn't circulate. If you had the power to wave a magic wand and circulate that coin, what coin would it be? Do let me know what you think of the Pride coin as well in the comments. It's really exciting to have a new coin on the horizon. Now be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free to do and means you won't miss any of our future uploads. When we hit 4,000 subscribers, we'll be doing another giveaway, so it's a great time to subscribe. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram, where we post lots of images of our products. We're on Twitter and TikTok. We've got our shop and online store, but I'll see you next time for more amazing coins from the Britannia Coin Company.